We are in Australia at the moment, and that means lots of new snacks to try. Today we went to the supermarket and stocked up on some nice little treats, so we're going to be sampling these today and telling you what they taste like.
It appears most of these items are heavily skewed towards sweets and junk food, but that's not a problem for me.
So first up, we are going to be trying shapes. These look like some savory crackers, and they come in the shape of Australia. So here we have Australia in cracker form, and we are actually here on the East Coast in Queensland. It tastes like a pizza cracker. It's nice and salty. I could munch on these while watching a movie.
Well, first up for me is Freckles, because I don't have enough on my arm as it is. Well, this is choc buds with hundreds and thousands of freckles. Let's give it a go. Chocolatey and crunchy. Oh, it's kind of strange. It's like these things are exploding in my mouth. But it does taste good. It has a very chocolatey taste. So, yeah, thumbs up for me.
Next up is a classic. This is Tim Tam Original, and the package says, the most irresistible chocolate biscuit. So here is my first chocolate Tim Tam. I already like the smell of it. Okay. So it's like a chocolate cookie with a nice creamy chocolate filling in the middle, and it's covered in chocolate. So I can't complain. That's a lot of chocolatey goodness.
We've got Bowen mango macadamias, and these are chocolate covered macadamias with mango flavor. So we actually went to Bowen, and it's the home of the biggest artificial mango I've ever seen. It was just this massive mango structure. So Bowen is known for its mangoes. So let's give this a try. Looks pretty big. I'm gonna eat the whole thing. Well, I'll tell you what. I love mangoes, I love chocolate, and I love macadamia. So this is really good.
And I'm not sure how this is pronounced. I think it's Fantalas maybe. And honestly, I'm not so sure I'm gonna like it just based on the look of the package, but we'll see. Okay, looks like chocolate. Oh my. Okay, very chewy. Very, very chewy. It's getting stuck in my teeth. This actually reminds me of the kind of candy that your grandma would have in her purse. So I don't like it.
Okay, next up we've got some weird looking candy here. Chicos, and I don't really know what's going on. It'll be interesting to try these. Okay, these are pretty bizarre. They look like naked little babies. So I'm gonna be gobbling up one of these. It's really chewy. Oh. That's not good at all. I think it's trying to be chocolatey, but it's just so artificially flavored. Oh, no thanks.
Next up is Lamingtons, and this is a soft sponge cake that is coated in rich chocolate. Coconutty. Okay. Well, this is a pleasant surprise. Honestly, in the supermarket, we could only find the Weight Watchers variety, so I thought it was going to be a little bit bland, not very sweet. But it's actually a nice cake. It's very soft, very spongy. It has a thin layer of chocolate, so it's not overwhelming. And I really like the shredded coconut over top. This would be nice with a cup of tea.
Chiquito. 55 grams of chewy caramel, fudge, crunchy balls, and loads of chocolate. I think I'm gonna like this one. Ooh, it's kind of shaped like an O. Henry bar. Oh, I can taste all that caramel and fudge. This is a really, really good chocolate bar. This would do well in Canada and the US.
Next up, I'm having a bar called Violet Crumble, and I really like the tagline on this. It says, "It's the way it shatters that matters." So I think it's gonna be really crunchy. I'm not sure what the filling is. It looks dry, like a dry sponge.
Oh, that's crunchy.
It's like coffee meringue. It's just surprising. Or maybe really crunchy caramel mixed in with meringue. I'm kind of confused about this one. But it's super sugary and sweet, so I do like it.
Next up is Cherry Ripe, the big cherry taste. And I just had a friend on Twitter tell me that I'm gonna get addicted to this, so I better watch out. Alright, I think I'm ready for the big cherry flavor. It tastes coconutty too, but yeah, you can really taste the cherries. I think my friend's right. I better not have too many of these. I may get addicted.
Okay, so here we have a mint patty, and again it looks like we accidentally picked out the diet variety because it says 50% less fat. So we'll see what it's like. I hope it tastes like the After 8 chocolate squares because I really like those. Okay. It doesn't have a very strong peppermint flavor. It's more like a hint of it. And the filling is also a little bit chewy. Yeah, I do like it. I'm giving this one a thumbs up.
Alright, these are Anzac Biscuits. And we were just around in Australia for Anzac Day, so this will be interesting to try as well. These smell good. They smell very buttery. Oh wow. That's a lot crunchier than I thought they'd be. That's a nice cookie. It's very rich and, as expected, also very buttery.
Alright, so this is Kirk's Originals. We've actually been seeing this brand a lot here in Australia, and I'm going to be sampling the ginger beer. It's called Old Stony, and it says Australian made since 1865. Alright, so this is already smelling like medicine. Has really strong ginger flavor, and it doesn't really smell artificial. This seems like the real stuff. Sam wants me to chug it like a man, so I'll do my best. Okay, so it has a strong aftertaste. You don't really taste the ginger at first, but once you swallow, it's like the ginger is here. I don't know, I'm not convinced yet. It probably wouldn't be my first choice for a beverage. Let's leave it at that.
Bundaberg, another kind of ginger beer. And we've become so famous in Australia that look, our photos are on the cover.
Ha ha ha, yeah right.
So we're staying in Pepper's Hotel in Broadbeach, which is located in the Gold Coast. And to surprise us, they gave us these beverages with our faces on them. So I think I'm almost obligated to like this here.
guzzling that.
Oh, gingery goodness. I love anything with ginger, so yeah, this is a hit. I would actually endorse this. So overall, this was a really pleasant surprise. I like, I don't know, over 90% of the things I tried. My favorite being the Chiquito bar, followed by the cherry ripe bar, which is hardly a surprise. I really have a sweet tooth. And the only thing I really didn't like were these Chicos. These were not tasty.
Okay, so for my favorites, I am going with the Shapes crackers. I thought these were really tasty, really flavorful, kind of like pizza. So yeah, nice snack. And I also really enjoyed the Lamingtons. They were a pleasant surprise. I was expecting them to be a little bit bland, so these were nice. I like shredded coconut, so it was a good combo. So if you ever find yourself in Australia, now you have some ideas of treats that you can try. These can easily be found in the local supermarket and they don't cost very much. So enjoy! So for today's food challenge, we are trying Vegemite for breakfast. This is really popular here in Australia and we received lots of comments on YouTube of people asking us to try this. So let's see how we like it. So before we eat the Vegemite, I'm just going to read a little bit of information about it. So it says, Vegemite is a dark brown Australian food paste made from leftover brewer's yeast extract with various vegetable and spice additives.
Apparently, Vegemite is quite healthy. It's got B1, which is essential for brain function. B2, supports your nervous system. B3, essential for energy release. And folate, helps to fight fatigue. But the question is, does it taste good?
And I was also looking at the Vegemite website, and it says, Vegemite is a nutritious and undeniably delicious start to the day. Now, I'm not really convinced because I've watched some people eat this and the reaction is just disastrous. So, I mean, we're gonna try it out and see whether we like it or not.
So we're slathering on that butter here. This isn't gonna be thin, we've got a thick amount here. So before we spread this bad boy sauce all over our toast, let's have a little sniff test. Wow, that's strong. Very repugnant. All right, let's put some of this on. Wow, that's really thick and dark. It's almost like a Nutella spread here.
I think it's supposed to be a thin layer.
Whoops. All right, it is time. Time for the first bite. I'm gonna take a big, massive bite. There's no wimping out here. Just a giant bite of this. It's freaking awful. I wouldn't give this stuff to my worst enemy. Oh. Oh.
Well, I think Sam put on way too much Vegemite, so I'm making my own toast. Or bread, actually, because I don't like to toast my bread. And I'm not going overboard here, I'm just putting a very thin layer, like I was advised by Australians. So, hopefully this tastes better than what Sam had.
What you're doing is wimping out.
No way. So here we go, my first bite of Vegemite ever. I also have a glass of mango juice nearby in case I need it. You know what? I think I made it the right way because this is not awful. I can actually eat this for breakfast. It's just a little bit salty, but it's not as overpowering as Sam's reaction. So I eat my bread with butter, but I've also heard Australians say that you can eat this with avocado, so I think that might actually taste kind of nice. Maybe we can try that next time.
So I have to say a thumbs down.
I'm giving it a thumbs up.
There are a lot of foods that I've tried around the world that other people considered strange or an acquired taste. And quite often, I'm the one who likes them, whereas Audrey doesn't. A good example of that is salmiakki in Finland, which is a very salty black licorice, which I love and Audrey hated. But this, this is something I don't think I would ever like to eat. Oh, it is awful.
Well, surprisingly, I did enjoy this stuff, so I guess I'm gonna be eating it for breakfast. And since we have 2 jars, I may be bringing one home back to Canada for my family. Get ready. So the other day we made a video where we sampled lots of Australian snacks, and one of them was the Tim Tam. So I just opened the pack and ate a cookie, that's how I sampled it. But then I got lots of comments from people saying you have to do a Tim Tam slam. So that's what we're gonna be doing today.
So first off, what exactly is a Tim Tam? It's a chocolate biscuit with a cream chocolate filling covered in chocolate.
So the whole idea behind a Tim Tam slam is that you use the biscuit as a straw. So you need to bite the top end and the bottom end off, stick it in the cup, and slurp. And then that's gonna melt the chocolate inside and it's gonna make the cookie really nice and gooey. So we're gonna be doing this.
So the first part of the slam is to bite off both ends of this biscuit. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do. Got one done. So the idea is to use it like a straw with a hot beverage. So I've got some tea here. I've got my Tim Tam ready. It's time to give it a try. That's good. Oh, it's melting and getting gooey. Oh, look at that. Whoa. That's delicious. It kind of reminds me of how, a deep fried chocolate bar tastes, kind of like what we had in Edinburgh when we had a deep fried Mars bar. It totally melts it. Look at that. I got gunk all over my hands.
So I'm gonna be doing mine a little bit different. I'm actually going to be biting off each of the corners instead of the entire top. I've seen some people do it that way, so we'll give it a try. 1, 2. Okay, let's see if this works. It does work, wow, okay. Before it disappears. Got it in. Worked. That is seriously delicious. Best way ever to eat a Tim Tam. So the verdict on this one, we are giving it the thumbs up. It was delicious, chocolatey goodness. We loved it. It was messy. I think we're gonna be having this again.
Oh yeah, amazing stuff.